When is the right time to add a new platform to your reselling business? And for that matter, which one should you add next? Stay tuned to find out. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Hi there, I'm Rebecca the Reseller, and I'm a six-figure reseller on many platforms like Poshmark, Mercari, and the list goes on. Before we get into the video, please go ahead and subscribe to the Vendoo YouTube channel. We publish videos every Friday, and they're always about reselling and how to grow your business. Okay, let's dive in. So I'm a big believer personally that having the most amount of eyeballs on one of your items as possible is the way to go, because it helps make the most of the work you've already done and the time and money you've already invested, and it helps your sell through, and I believe helps you make more money overall, as well as helps prevent having an issue with any one platform. As we all know, platforms can have issues from time to time, and so it's nice to be able to not have your entire reselling business grind to a screeching halt because of one platform and any changes or improvements or snags or glitches they may have. So for me, as a way to diversify my income, diversify my business, and kind of hedge my bets, I really feel strongly about cross-posting to as many platforms as make sense for you that you can handle. So a couple things that I'm going to go over, just like general information about cross-posting and adding platforms and the progression of your business. And then I'll talk to you a little bit about the platforms I'm selling on currently and what platform I'm adding next. So, you're going to buy, let's say, a clothing item, and that's a money investment and a time investment for sourcing it. Then you're going to take it home and maybe steam it or prep it. Then you're going to take photos of it. You're going to list it on your main platform that you're already selling on. And that might be it for you. That might be all you do. So you spent some money and you spent a lot of time on that one item and put it in that one place. But what if you had taken just a couple extra moments and added it to a second place? Would it sell faster? Would it sell versus not selling at all? I believe so. I believe that the more places you put your item, the better your sell through and the more return on investment you have. And it keeps the cash flow going in your business. So for me, I don't want to just be on one platform. I like to be on multiple platforms so that I can reap all of those benefits. And that's why Vendoo is great. I mean, you could use Vendoo just to be on one platform, certainly, and it would make your life easier, but it really is great to have your items on multiple platforms. So I'm not going to get into, any kind of tutorial in this video. Vendoo is great about having all of those resources available to you, but I will say that you may just really want to focus on that first platform that you have and your system before you add the next one. That's just kind of my little food for thought there, because you don't want to go cross-posting an item that has not so good photos and not so good of a listing description to all the places, because let's say 2 weeks later you want to make improvements, then you have to go fix it in all of those places. So I am a big believer of kind of like getting your ship together first and making sure that you have good photos and a good process and a good listing to start with. Don't get analysis of paralysis. It doesn't have to be perfect, but just make sure that you've done the best you can. Like for me, I've been reselling 6 years now. My photos are as good as they're gonna get. I'm not interested in improving my photos anymore. I have a nice white background. Everything is hanging up nicely. I have good hangers. I have good lighting. My photos are good to go. And so I'm not going to be making any changes to that process. So I feel comfortable taking those photos and putting them on as many platforms as I want to, because I know that it's good and it's all set. Same thing with my listing. Now I know how to do my titles. I know how to do my listing description. I have a process in place for handling one platform and moving on to the other. So I have all that in place, and now I can get it everywhere. So I start with Poshmark, right? That's where I started as a women's clothing seller. And then I added eBay. Then I added Mercari. For a while, I was on Kidizen when I used to sell kids' clothes. Now I'm taking a Kidizen break, though you can add other things. We'll talk about the different platforms in a second. But so I was on Kidizen for a little while, so I do have experience there. And I'm getting ready to add my next platform. And because of the nature of the items that I sell, and they're getting to be more high-end, I am considering Tradesy as the next step. So I've already started to cross-post items over there. I have some more items that I need to do. Right now I have about 900 active listings, and so I'm slowly getting them over to Tradesy a little bit at a time. And I'm really excited about that possibility. Why did I make that progression? Why did I go from eBay or Poshmark to eBay to Mercari and now to Tradesy? Because of the items that I sell, and that kind of leads me into where you can put your items with Vendoo, and also why you might choose a certain platform over another. So for me, I sell primarily women's clothing, as I said. So Poshmark is a definite, and that's where I started, and that's what I would consider to be my main platform. Then eBay is obviously a great place for women's clothing, of course, but you can sell tons of things there. Same for Mercari, another great place to sell women's clothing. I've had really good luck with it, and you can also sell other things there too. Tradesy is the next one for me because it caters to the kinds of items that I have, looking for higher end or designer or mid-level luxury and those kinds of things. So that's my next step. I'm not choosing at this time to put my items on Etsy because I don't have Etsy items. I don't sell upcycled clothing. I'm not tie-dyeing things. I don't have vintage to sell. And those are the kinds of items that you should be selling on Etsy. I'm not selling on Depop because I don't have Y2K and super trendy for the Gen Z, all of that stuff. I'm just too old, I guess. But so I'm not selling there because I don't have those kinds of items. I'm not selling on Grailed because I don't really carry a lot of men's items. So the idea here is not to shy away from platforms because I want to be on as many platforms as I possibly can be to give my items every chance to sell. But I am making smart choices, recognizing the nuances, audiences, and themes of certain platforms and any rules and criteria that they have. So for me, Grailed is not going to be in my future anytime soon, but Facebook Marketplace, maybe. Kidizen, maybe. Those could be my next steps. So Shopify is actually something that is extremely attractive to me. Because of the season in my life, mom, little guy, that's like a when my son is in school and everything else is good to go, that's when I could focus on Shopify, because I think that actually would be a really cool thing to do. I'm really excited about it. I would love to have my own site, but I also want to make sure that I do it right. So for me, going to Shopify is definitely something that's in my future, but it's not something that's in my immediate future. I recognize the season of life that I'm in and that I need to go for ease and simplicity. So things like Poshmark and Mercari and Tradesy, those are really good, easy platforms that you can expand your items to. If you are a vintage seller, then you may want to start getting stuff on Etsy. If you sell a lot of men's clothes, you may want to get things on Grailed. So you want to find the platforms that make sense for you and then get your items on as many of them as possible. Now, the only caveat I would mention is that you want to do it one at a time, right? Like, don't put everything everywhere and then you're like, oh my gosh, where are my items? And I don't know each of these platforms. I haven't learned them yet. I don't have a system in place for making sure that I'm updating my solds. And when something sells, you need to go into Vendoo and make sure it gets delisted on the other platforms. It's super fast and easy, but it needs to be done. There are some realities to selling on multiple platforms. And so that's why I'm a big believer in determine your main platform, get good at selling there, find your secondary platform, get good at selling there, understand what it's like to balance two platforms in your business, then you go to your third, then you can go to your fourth. And so it's just awesome because you can take that couple dollars that you spend on that item and that time that you spend on photographing and listing to begin with, and maximizing and optimizing those efforts by getting your item on multiple platforms so that it has every chance to sell and is exposed to as many potential shoppers as possible. I'm excited to know what kinds of platforms you guys are interested in adding to your profile next. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like this video, comment, and subscribe to the Vendoo YouTube channel. Again, we share useful reseller information and Vendoo software updates. See you in the next video. Bye.